Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. How are you all? Are you okay? I hope so. This is me Shabana Kausar, English teacher in ASF Public School, Karachi. Dear student, as you know well that online classes are being held for a short period of time due to COVID period. So let's start. Today we are going to discuss chapter number 4, The Great Visionaries. A visionary is basically from the word vision. So first of all we need to clear the word vision. Vision is the ability to think about future with imagination or wisdom. So what is a visionary? A visionary is a person with original idea about what the future will be or could be. So what quality does a visionary have? Student, I have prepared a mind map in the form of a web that you can watch on a screen. That what quality does a visionary have? A visionary is having a quality of good example, vision, clear communication, expect the best, support, encouragement, recognition, stimulating work. A visionary focuses on the team interest and needs, inspiration, integrity. In the beginning, in the introductory part of the chapter, a project was assigned to a class for the summer vacation, and they were asked to work in the group form, like in the group of 4. The topic which was assigned to them was the visionaries. The first group member, like Huma and Taira, it was decided that they have to collect information about Jinnah's life, a visionary, while the other group member like Farheen and Lubna, they decided to gather information about Quaid-e-Azam. It was decided among them that all the members will share all information that they will collect about Jinnah and Allama Iqbal. They will share with each other through emails. Now here is an email that you can see on our screen, which was written to Huma by Taira. In this email, information has been collected by Taira and this email has been sent to Huma. In this email, you can watch here. All information is about the personality and the achievement of our great leader Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, which was the one of the most dynamic personality of South Asia, most impressive personality. His message was the message of unity, faith, and discipline. His message, which was his guiding principle as well as if we follow as a nation, we follow his guiding principle, a nation can progress and can get prosperity. He was one of the top barrister of Bombay, and his greatest achievement, which cannot be compared, which is the creation of Pakistan, that he got freedom for the Muslim, he got a great free state for the Muslim of India. Those were in great trouble at that time. The world has seen many leaders who have obtained independence for the people for undesired rule, but few have achieved what the Quaid-e-Azam did. Actually, Quaid-e-Azam created a new state, a new country, a new free country. He led the Muslim of the subcontinent to achieve an independent state called Pakistan, where we can live honorably, where we can live freely according to our religion and according to the teaching of our faith and culture. In this email, the political acumen mean political participation and the political contribution of Quaid-e-Azam has been discussed. Actually, initially Quaid-e-Azam was a strong member. He was the ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity, and he worked as an active member of Indian National Congress. But as an outstanding political leader, he very soon realized that the National Congress was the pure Hindu party, and Hindus was not only in majority in Congress as well as in the country at that time. So he very soon realized that the Hindus will never share the fruit of independence with the Muslim. So he realized this and left the Congress and joined Muslim League. Soon after joining the Muslim League, he became the president of Muslim League, All India Muslim League Party, and we very intelligently pleaded the case of a separate homeland for the Muslim of India, and in getting Pakistan, succeeded in getting Pakistan. This was despite a strong opposition from the two big power players in British India, the ruling British and the majority Hindus. This email which has been sent to Lubna, here is the vision that the Quaid-e-Azam had for Pakistan. Quaid-e-Azam envisioned Pakistan as a nation state, ensuring equal right for all the citizens of Pakistan. Before 3 days before becoming Pakistan on 11th August 1947, he declared on the occasion of his election as the first president of Constituent Assembly of Pakistan, Quaid-e-Azam declared this thing, that you are free to go to your temple, you are free to go to your mosque. He explained, he declared this thing, that even the people who are living in the minorities or the majority, they will have equal rights, and they can live in this boundary of Pakistan, they can live according to their faith and religion freely. Quaid-e-Azam wanted to see this state of Pakistan as an exemplary state. He said, my guiding principle will be justice and complete impartiality, and I am sure that with your support and the cooperation of the people, I can look forward to Pakistan becoming one of the greatest nations of the world. This great leader, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who had to leave this world before he could transform his ideas into practical steps. It is now our responsibility to set up the future direction for the great country by implementing the Quaid-e-Azam vision of Pakistan. If we wanted to pay more respect to our great Quaid, we should try to do the thing he wanted to us. On every Independence Day, we should think of what we need to do to take Pakistan forward on the way to peace and prosperity. Now let's see what Lubna and Farheen find about Iqbal. We'll then meet and decide how to present all this information. Allama Muhammad Iqbal, the poet of East, was no doubt a great poet, but his poetry was not only of his many accomplishments. He was born November 9, 1877 at Sialkot. He got his early education from his hometown Sialkot. He began his professional career as a professor of Arabic at the Oriental College, Lahore. And after the completion of his MA in 1899, in 1905, he went to London and received law degree from London University. He thus became a barrister by profession, but this doesn't mean that he gave up everything else. This versatile person continued his effort, and in 1908 he was awarded PhD degree by the Munich University, Germany, for his work on Persian philosophy. That is why he is also known as Dr. Muhammad Iqbal. Allama Muhammad Iqbal also took an active part in the politics and worked for the cause of the Muslim of South Asia. He was elected as a member of Punjab Legislative Council in 1926, a post he held till 1929. By then he had become deeply involved with the Muslim League activities. He represented two-nation theory, that Hindu and Muslim are two different nations. Their culture, their civilization, each and everything is different to each other. So they cannot live together in a single one state. One of the Iqbal's biggest political contribution is his Allahabad address, in which he delivered in 1930 at Allahabad, in which he made a definite demand for a separate state for the Muslims of India. In his Allahabad address in 1930, Iqbal declared, India is the continent of human groups belonging to different nations, different races, speaking different languages, and believing in different religion. The Muslim demand to create a Muslim India within India is no way without justice. For my part, I would like to go one step further. I would like to see Punjab, Northwest frontier provinces, Sindh and Balochistan united under a single Muslim state. However, this demand shocked both Hindus and British. On March 23, 1940, a resolution was passed which is called Pakistan Resolution, in which he made a definite demand for the separate state of the Muslim of India. Lubna and Farheen both have collected excellent information about Allama Iqbal. While we all know that what Qaid Azam did, we often do not exactly recall the role of Iqbal in the creation. Allama Iqbal died in 1938, 9 years before the creation of Pakistan. He played a major role in its creation, but he couldn't see in its actual form. By planting the seeds of the separation state for the Muslim of India in people's mind, Qaid Azam appreciated and praised Iqbal's role in a message on his death. To me, he was a friend, guide and philosopher, and during the darkest moment through which the Muslim League had to go, he stood like a rock. Allama Iqbal had a great love for Islam. He always advised Muslims to remain true to their religion and faith and practice it in the letter and spirit. In his Allahabad address, he said, "According to me, it is Islam that has saved Muslim, not Muslim that have saved Islam." I hope, student, this lecture will be helpful for you. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.